Hi,
Action.
my name is Miss Judith, and I'm going to do art with you today. I hope you have fun with me. We're going to do something called atmospheric perspective. We're going to use our pencils, and this is a picture of what we're going to draw. And you can see the mountain in the background is lighter because it's farther away, and the mountain in the front is darker because it's closer to us. Even the trees are darker here than they are in the middle ground because the ones closest to us are darker, the ones farthest away are lighter, and the ones in the middle, they're in a middle color. So that's called atmospheric perspective. Sometimes it's called aerial perspective. It's the various particles in the atmosphere that make things either real clear or like on a foggy day, you can hardly see in front of you when you're going down the road. Well, that's the atmosphere that's making things have a visual perspective of it in because of the particles in the air. Another thing that we're going to talk about today is overlapping. See how these mountains overlap each other. Overlapping is when you have an object that you place one object in front of the other, and then you can give visual distance that way. So see how one mountain is in front of the other, and that makes it look like there's three mountains. And the other thing we want to remember is we have foreground, middle ground, and the background, and so or the distant ground. So those are the terms we're going to use. So the first thing I want you to do is get your paper. I'm going to have my paper down here, and take your pencil, and you'll see on the pencil that it has a number. Usually the pencils that you use in school are usually a 2B. So if that's all you have, that's fine. You don't need a whole set of pencils. But if you notice that when you do have artist pencils, they have numbers on them. This is a 2B, this is a 5B, and sometimes it'll say H or a 2H. Well, when it's an H, it means the pencil's hard, and that means it's going to make a lighter line. When it's a B pencil, like this 2B, it's going to make a darker line because H is hard, B stands for soft. So the softer the pencil, the darker line you're going to get. So here we go. The first thing I'd like you to do is sketch in your foreground line, and it's going to look something like this. So can you see that? Okay, then we're going to do our middle ground, something like this. And then we're going to do our distant mountain, just like that. So now we have three shapes, and they are overlapping. Remember that word overlapping. Now we're going to take our pencil. Take your non-dominant hand. That's the hand that you don't write with. Place your pencil between your thumb and your first finger and pick up that pencil like this. So that gives you control of that pencil. And what we're going to do is squircle. So we're going to start with the distant mountain. And remember, I said when it's in the distance, it's lighter. So we're going to just squircle in there, little tiny circles all over. Just squircle. I don't even know if squircle's a word, but that's what I call this. Now, this idea of drawing these mountains in atmosphere perspective, my friend Brenda Hadinat, she's a real famous artist in Canada, and she has an art school online called Drawspace, and she shared this lesson with me, and it's on drawspace.com. So if you like to draw, you might want to go to drawspace.com and check out some of her other lessons. She's a really good artist. She used to work for the police as a forensic artist in Canada, and you know how hard that is to draw people. So you know she's really good. Okay, so I squircled that first mountain in, and now I'm going to do the middle mountain, which is over here. And it's going to be a little bit darker. And I hope you're squircling along with me because art is fun. I like doing art. And I do art every day because it just makes me feel better. No matter what. If I'm having a bad day, I just pick up a paintbrush and start painting, and I just feel better. That pencil's not working, so I'm going to take my pencil sharpener and just sharpen it. Now you want to remember to use the side of the pencil and not the point, because if you use the point, it's going to scratch your paper. So if you use the side of the pencil, it will work better. And it won't scratch your paper because then when you go to blend, it will blend. If you scratch the paper, it's not going to blend. You won't get those scratch marks out. So I'm just using the side of the pencil, and I'm squircling along, and this mountain is a little bit darker than my distant mountain. And I'm just doing little circles all over that mountain. Now I have my distant mountain, my middle ground, and now I'm going to do my foreground. And what did I say about the foreground? It's the darkest. And why? Because it's closest to me. Okay, the foreground is what is closest to the viewer. And I'm squircling in this dark color. So I'm having 3 shades of the pencil. What the pencil is made of is called graphite. So here we have 3 shades of graphite. Now I can, if I wanted to, I could use different pencils. Like if I used a 5B instead of this 2B, I could make it even darker. Like here, if I take this 5B, watch how dark I can get it. See how much darker that 5B is? That's because it's softer than the 2B. So as the numbers get higher in the B's, the numbers get softer and darker. When they get higher in the H's, they get lighter, because the higher the number, the harder the pencil is. In the B's, the higher the number, the softer the pencil is. Hope that makes sense to you. Sometimes when you're old like me, you don't always make sense, because I'm a Grandma Judy. Yeah, thought I'd throw that in. Okay, I am just squircling all these dark areas. Now, I'm not getting my squircles perfect. That's okay, because when I blend this, it's just going to make nooks and crannies in my mountain. So don't worry if you think it's not perfect. We're not trying to go for perfect. Just do the best job that you can. That's all you want to do when you do art, is just do the best job you can. And also have fun while you're doing it, because that's important too. Art should be fun, and it will make you feel better. Okay, so I got all my squircles in. See, I have the lightest in the distance. In the midground, I have the next value, and in the foreground, I have it darker. Okay, I'm going to take a Kleenex, wrap it around my finger, and put it inside my hand like this. And come in, and I'm going to start blending. Oh, and it's going to make those mountains so nice, because it's blending all my squircles. Now, the Kleenex looks like this, but don't take it away. Keep using it. Don't take it off that finger. You want to save that graphite that's on the Kleenex. And come and blend the middle ground, okay? And then blend your foreground, just like this. Now, the reason we don't want to move that Kleenex is because now we have graphite on our finger there, and we're going to come in and put some clouds in the sky. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Okay, one more thing before I show you the final project. We'll put a few trees in here. Just put some straight lines like this, make them different heights. It's more interesting when you have different heights. Okay, now the foreground trees, remember, they're in the front more, so they're closer to us, so they'll be darker. So I'm just going to make squiggly lines with my darker pencil. Just back and forth like this. Back and forth. Nothing hard, just back and forth. And remember, just do the best job you can. Don't worry. Just do the best job you can and have fun. That's all. You don't have to be perfect with art. You just have to enjoy. So I'm just squircling back and forth in these dark trees here, back and forth. And then I'll take my Kleenex and just blend the bottom of them so they go right into the mountain. And now on the distant mountain, I'll do a few trees. Not the distant mountain, but the middle ground. I'll do a few trees. But remember, the middle ground trees will not be as dark as the foreground. Why? Because they're farther away. And the distant mountains, we probably can't see the trees because they're really far away. So I won't put trees in the distant mountain, but I will take and make a few little V's for birds. There you have it, boys and girls. Here's another one I did. I love doing this picture. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something. Now remember, atmospheric perspective, that's when various particles in the atmosphere create a visual depth by the way the weather is. And then it's also called aerial perspective. And then we had overlapping. That's when you put one object in front of the other to make visual distance. So boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that. And remember, don't forget to be good to yourself and just do art. Bye-bye for now.
Okay.
Okay.
12 minutes.